back to Double Your Sales Now. I'm so excited. Today, I'm talking to Gwen Lepard, and we're talking about how removing relationship residue can benefit your bottom line. Think about that. I know we're in very interesting times, and everyone is challenged with some relationship issues in their lives, or maybe many, or just feeling triggered by a lot of things in the world today. So Gwen's going to help us with that. So I just want to say, Gwen, welcome to the Double Your Sales Now show.
Thank you so much, Ursula. I am just thrilled to be here. Thrilled. It's so good to see you.
You too. We're going to have so much fun. This has been a long time in coming. You were busy, you were traveling, you were in Montana for a month, doing all these exciting things that business owners can do when they have a lot of freedom. So before we jump in, and I'll be introducing you in a second, I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't yet, go to salescoachnow.com/gift. That's our 6 secrets to double your sales now. It's a PDF. It's very simple. You can download it, put it on your desk. It'll give you a sales boost, I promise. If you haven't left us a review yet, we'd love to have one. And you can go to iTunes to leave the review, come back here. Not here, but go back to salescoachnow.com/giveaway. And when you go there, you'll see that we're giving away some cool gifts around my book, One Great Goal, when you leave us a review. So thanks in advance. I appreciate that. Because you're a podcast listener, you also get a very, very special price point to join us at Virtual Sales Camp. As you all know, we pivoted in a major way at the start of the pandemic. All of our sales camps are virtual now. So we have clients coming from all over the world, which is so exciting. And so if you're interested and you want a sales boost and really, think about how to get your sales to the next level, come and play with us at Virtual Sales Camp. And again, contact at salescoachnow.com to let us know you're interested. Finally, we just released the 2X Intensive, which I'm so excited about. It's a 2-day class, and it's focused on 2Xing your revenue, your monthly revenue, while shaving 10 or more hours off your work week. This has been a course that's been bubbling for a long time. And of course, in this time of pandemic, it was an excellent place for me to put it together and get it out there. And we released the first one in September. Got to spend a couple of days with some entrepreneurs who are working on going from like $40,000 a month to $80,000 a month, all working on that next level. And what was exciting to see is just the breakthroughs. And what I want to remind all of you is that this is the time. We are not in a time that's broken. We're not in a time when manifesting doesn't work. It all still works. We might have to pivot, but you can still 2X your revenue and work less. Still a possibility. So salescoachnow.com/apply, fill out that information, send it in. We'll get you all the details. All right. That's all the things. Let me tell you about Gwen Lepard. She is a luminary, and she empowers empaths, which I know many of you probably are, to evolve out of narcissistic abuse. As a Baggage Begone facilitator and speaker, she helps empaths to release relationship residue, realize self-love, and regain their personal power so that they can have the love, peace, and freedom that they desire. I love that. What she's most passionate about is helping create radiant relationships that stand the test of time. I have wanted to have Gwen on for so long because this topic of really how to help clean up and release the residue in our relationships has a domino effect out into everything we do in the world, especially in our businesses. And it really can make a difference on your bottom line. So with that, we are going to dive in. So Gwen, I would love if you would tell us by sharing, share your story with us. Let's get started there. And did you have any limiting beliefs about having your own business or selling in the very beginning? We'll start there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with the story. July 31st, 2009, after years of verbally whipping me, my former husband did it for real. It was with a pair of wet pants. And he told me that he was going to keep coming down on me harder and harder until I stopped doing stupid things. The stupid thing that I did was I put other clothes in with those pants to wash them because it was a front loader. And I was going to get them dry in time for his meeting. But he threw coffee on me and then whipped me with those pants. I felt the sting of the zipper as it came around and hit the corner of my eye. And I was terrified with what he said. I didn't know what the next wrong, stupid thing was going to be. And I feared for my life. I fled into the gully and I just sat there shivering, smelling coffee and stale old coffee, and looked at my phone and there was no one to call because I'd allowed him to isolate everyone in my life. And I made a call. It was a cousin who was going through a horrid divorce, an attorney. I knew she wouldn't answer the phone, and she did. She said, "I'm worried about you. You need to make a plan." I said, "Don't make a plan. I leave. I go." And so I did. I took the action and I left. And that's when I began the journey back to myself. And in that relationship, I had to do a lot of sales, a lot of cold calls. I would be drenched in fear sweat trying to sell CDs to Borders, which no longer exist, but I got them in 400 stores.
Wow.
At the cost of my adrenals, my self-esteem. And a lot of that was, I'd have a success and it was never good enough for him. And so I brought that fear of sales into, I started studying NLP, and which and part of the job was to encourage people to take the training. But some of the tactics were really, they were really pushy. It was like, you really want this, and it didn't feel good. And I had to find some other way, because I wouldn't call people. I didn't have a business, and I knew I was here to help people, but I didn't know how to serve them. And I'd heard sales as service, but I couldn't make that connection until I met you.
Oh, I just want to reflect for a moment. Thank you for being willing to share what I know is a very difficult and very traumatic story. And at the same time, I also know that you sharing that story is going to help a lot of people who are listening right now. And we're going to talk about, how to potentially unravel and just how it can affect you. I just read a statistic, and I'm sure you know better than I, but like something like 158 million people are affected by narcissists in, I think, just the United States. It was this major statistic. And, whatever the number, it's massive. So we know that, there's just, a lot of abuse happening. And I recently read another book about covert narcissism because of some of my own struggles in my life and my own healing journey. And so often what we perceive is that we should know better, right? Like we shouldn't keep getting sucked into relationships where someone's a narcissist, or there's a parent figure that keeps bringing us back. And we think, well, that can't be that because I'm smart, I should know better. And in fact, the opposite is actually true, right? When often narcissists, they go after the people who are really smart and really kind and really empathic, and the ones who are really loyal because they know we're going to keep circling around and we're going to be there for them. So we got to break that pattern. We got to get rid of that residual revenue. So I just want to say thank you because
residue.
Yes,
we want revenue, not residue.
Oh, that's a great book title. You might want to think about that. This topic is so much bigger, right? And we want to make sure that people listening get some support, find out if you can help them, or if there's other resources out there. The truth is, though, this piece, the relationships in our life really do affect our bottom line. And as you were sharing, even in that space of sales, there was probably overlapping things that were happening. You're in this relationship, you're, feeling not so great about yourself, and then you're trying to sell. It doesn't get any harder than that. So talk about the breakthrough, like when you started to put together that selling really could be service, especially in your own business. Share with our listeners, like, how did that shift for you? Because especially in the healing world, right? We hear a lot about healers not charging enough or not selling enough. So, how did that work out for you, Gwen? How'd you shift?
Well, this was before we reconnected. When I had gone to this, I need some water.
Yes, please. I'll have a drink of water too.
So I'd gone to this workshop and I'd met this woman, and she said, "Gwen, you're really good at what you do." And that kind of like triggered me, because I kind of thought I was good at what I did, but the way that she said it was like validating in a way that I had never heard before. And she goes, "You're just not talking to the right people." So she introduced me to one of the biggest telesummits in healing on the planet. And they had a program to help you become a telesummit superstar. So I went ahead and I gulped and I made that investment in myself. And the sales, the packages that we put together, we had to build our value. And so I looked at what I was charging, and I had gotten to the place where I felt comfortable charging a good amount for what I do, because it's not about the time, It's about the transformation. And so that's a key, especially in selling something that is intangible, like energy medicine, that you are not selling your time. And so many healers, it's like, oh, I have to give and give and give, because and felt like they're responsible for the results. That was another big breakthrough, is that I stopped feeling responsible for my clients' results. I was responsible for delivering absolutely the best I could to them. And then they were responsible for their results, to hold them responsible for their own results and encourage them to get those results. So those were two big keys. And the price point on telesummits is very, very low, so people can meet you, and get to know you. And I realized I was being paid to build my business. And then I reconnected with you. I mean, we'd known each other for a long time, and I always knew from the moment I met you that I wanted to work with you. And I loved how you brought sales to a softer place. And I finally, because of that telesummit, I was able to hire you and be, to spend time with you and really have that one-on-one mentoring, which was another huge breakthrough in looking at, okay, so here are the packages that I can now offer to people, and how it's a service to them, not just selling them, but okay, you've tried this, you've said that you want it, that you're willing to spend money, because I asked the questions. I had a questionnaire, what are you willing to invest? And, and I had everything from free to my biggest packages and things in between. And so depending on their answer, I would be able to direct them to things that would be beneficial for them. So I already had them pre-qualified. So that was really helpful to have them pre-qualified. And I had one person say, I really appreciated that. You're not, because so many people that he'd experienced in that realm were like hard selling him on something that he wasn't even ready for. And so he appreciated me asking those questions. So find out, are people even ready for you? Maybe they just need some free stuff and to follow you along for a while. Because I've had that happen too. I had somebody that had free stuff since I started, and she just signed up for a package, a one-on-one package. So there's a sales cycle, which is one of the things that I learned from working with you. And so does that answer your question?
Yeah. I think I want to unpack it a little bit. I just want to hit the highlights. It's really great information. And that from moving from feeling like you had to be a pushy salesperson to really serving was about looking at you're not selling time, you're selling transformation. That is huge. And that is for everyone to hear, especially if you build your own packages. Like, it's the experience, it's the end result. That's what people want to buy. And the hourly stuff, which so many people get stuck in, we've all been there. I was there when I first started my coaching practice on this much an hour, and it would have taken me 300 years to reach any kind of goal and to even help people, right? Because the other piece of this, as you know, Gwen, like when you have the packages priced in a way that's in alignment with you, people will up level. They'll figure out how to pay. If it's a good fit for them, they'll figure it out. And when they invest in themselves, just like you did with the telesummit and you did in our programs, like, you have to up level. You show up in a different way. And so I think I just want to hit on this, because especially in this time of the pandemic, it's easy to feel like, oh, I'm just going to slide back and not charge as much or change my pricing or whatever. And that's exactly the opposite of what we're telling our clients. We're telling our clients, right, to up level, like charge what you're worth, because your top 20% is out there and listening. You also said, I'm not responsible for the results. Oh, especially in the healing world, right? Like, you can take on everybody's stuff. In the coaching world, we can take on everybody's stuff. It serves no one. Clear boundaries serve people well, because they get to go do their own thing and they're not dependent. We don't want anybody dependent on us, right? If they come back for more support because they're at a different level, totally different. But if they're like, Gwen, I need you on speed dial 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, that is not helping, right? So
but I have a package for that.
Maybe when they're getting started, right? Like, there's that space, but not for 50 years, I would guess, right? At some point, they probably grow into another package. Yeah. And the other thing you said that I found is really valuable is that just reminding everyone there's a sales cycle. Not everybody's ready for our stuff right now. Not everybody is ready for, doubling their revenue, healing their pain, because there's a lot of resistance that comes up in both of those scenarios, which probably overlap in a lot of ways. So I think you nailed those points, and I just wanted to hit them home because I can feel like that's going to resonate out with so many of our listeners. So since the pandemic started, we ask all of our interviewees this question. What have you done to pivot your business, if anything? What can you share with us?
Well, I was already there because of the telesummit. So I already was online. I was already serving clients and students globally. But what I did do is I created a program. I started out with like an introduction that I sent out to my entire list to clear fear. And then from that, I made a program to clear FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and help raise your vibration. So we did a lot of really fun things. I mean, it was 7 weeks. I have seven different ways of raising your vibration. And now I have that available. And soon it will be, it's been a package that's been available through telesummits. And it's one of the things I'm going to have on my site here in soon.
Yes. I'm sure, yes, as people are listening to this. So for you, it was, you really met the market where they were at. I mean, obviously fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That was the banner for the pandemic, right? That was the tagline. Everyone, and I don't mean to make light of it, because clearly we're all dealing with it. I think when people come to hang out with us at Sales Coach Now, I want you guys to be able to laugh a little bit about it, because life is just really serious right now. And then sometimes we just got to let it go. We got to just make the time to, listen to podcasts like this and leave refreshed. So,
yes, definitely. And actually I do want to, there's a little piece to that.
Yeah.
How that came is that I had a client and student ask me, and she was like really in terror and in fear. And she's going, what can we do as energy healers? What can we do? And I said, be calm, because you're feeding into it. Be calm and raise your vibration. Because when you raise your vibration, it actually, when you get it up high enough, you don't get sick. And, we obviously as humans, we're going through waves, but if we can get those waves up higher, then you can stay well. And so I said, raise your vibration. So that's where that came out of. And I think that that's something still to hear, even as, as we continue with the pandemic as part of our new next normal.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about this idea of raising your vibration. So some of our folks who are out there are probably, I would say they're pretty woo-woo. Some have one woo, some have like a half woo. And for some, maybe the woo is brand new. That could be a Dr. Seuss book. So let's talk about, is it really possible to raise your vibration? And what does that mean? And how do I know if I've raised, do you have any tips for us in that? This is totally off script, but I think it's important to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that you can do is to be in gratitude. Gratitude is not even shared on the Dr. Hawkins scale of consciousness. And I've tested it and it's at 800. So love is at 500.
Wow.
Joy is like 560, I think. Peace is up above that. Gratitude is at 800. So being grateful for everything in your life, for everything in your life, to spend time writing down or expressing 3 things in the morning, 3 things in the evening that you're grateful for. I like doing 5. Sometimes I'll write a whole little page of gratitudes. Sometimes I take a gratitude walk. And so people could, right now the air quality is so bad here that I can't go out and walk. But expressing gratitude is a huge way to raise your vibration. And along those same lines, celebrating your wins. So if you have a little win, you celebrate it. You celebrate it. I mean, you get up and you celebrate. Right. Be active. And there's a difference between energy and frequency, because vibration is frequency. So you can be calm and at peace and have a high vibration. And you can be really, really busy and have a low vibration. So energy is not, vibration is not the same as energy. But having a high vibration and a high frequency will allow you to have more physical energy, because so many people are drained, but they're rushing around trying to accomplish things, and they've got all this relationship residue. It's like an anchor they're dragging along behind them, and you cut that loose, and it frees you up to really shine and help your bottom line. And it really benefits your bottom line when you clear the residue from relationships, because they're foundational.
Yeah. And we're still going to talk about that. I want to get to that. But before that, so many things, Gwen. This could be a 2-day show, but it's not. No. So go back to talk about the scale. I know my analytical types out there are going to be like, what scale? Say that again. What's the scale that's measuring this? Any information? Because I know people love to go out and learn about it.
Can you see?
Okay, power versus force. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Dr. David Hawkins. There's a scale. Shame is like one of the lowest things. It's down around 20. And so many people have shame, especially from, family of origin. And grief, apathy is way down on the scale. Anger starts getting up there. I think anger's around 100. And then, at least you're moving. Courage is at 200. If we had less than 10,000 people on the planet that were vibrating at love or above, at 500 or above, they could bring the entire planet up to courage. Can you imagine what our world would be like if everyone had courage?
Say that again. How many people?
It's less than 10,000 people.
Wow.
Vibrating.
That makes me wonder how many, so what you're saying is people are mostly around 200-300?
Yeah.
If that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And in our world right now, there's so much anger and fear. And fear, boy, I wish I knew that off the top of my head, but fear, I believe, is below, it's less, it's in the double digits.
Yeah.
So there's so much fear and panic, and then people are raging because they're scared. And all of those are keeping people below courage.
Right.
And even as, even when we have all the tools, as, you and I have many tools. I have a tool shed. It's not a box. It's not a belt. It's a shed. I had to have lots of these. There's way more than the ones behind me, just for validation.
Right.
Yes. So those tools, I lost my train. Come back.
Yeah. Even with all the tools we have, even people like us who have a lot of tools, when there's all this fear and doubt in the world.
Yes, we dip into it. We're affected, especially as empaths. We feel what other people feel.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the moment you forget, and it allows your energy to dip down. And, I'm not a guru on the mountaintop. I don't stay in joy. I don't stay in gratitude. I don't stay up above, all the time. But I've found that the more that I bring my level up, you can average it out, because it's not that you're in gratitude every moment, because that really isn't human. But when your overall state is coming from So gratitude, then it allows those bumps in the road to be bumps in the road.
So this must be my analytical mind too, since we have you here and we can get these questions answered. Okay. This is the practical piece of me that says, all right, you're right. We can't be in gratitude all the time. That'd be tough. Maybe there's a few souls on the planet who could hold that. Maybe like a Mother Teresa, which is probably why there was a private jet waiting for her at all times and millions of dollars and all the things she didn't care about that were still waiting for her because she was out healing the world.
Yeah.
How do you know how long we'd have to? So if I'm going to work on writing my gratitude statements and holding a feeling of gratitude, is there a certain amount of time that would let it flow into the day, or any tips you would give us there? And I know that's kind of a big question, but I'm curious.
Do I even have an answer for that?
What's your best guess?
My best guess is to make it a practice. And because when I'm writing gratitude every morning and every evening, complaints just go away. Because when you're in gratitude, you're not in complaint. So if you start noticing that you're complaining about things, which if you watch the news, it's really easy to do.
Yeah.
Then be grateful. Immediately be grateful for something. So just make gratitude your go-to tool. It's okay, like you think, oh, my roommate is a pig. It's wow, I'm lucky I have a roommate. I'm grateful that I have this roommate who usually I get along with, Maybe they left the dishes in the sink this morning, but I can be grateful that they're helping pay the rent. And
right. Well, it's so easy. And I feel like as humans, we're a little bit conditioned just to go to complaint or lean in, to go to the negative, because if we weren't, if that wasn't kind of the way we're programmed or whatever, we'd all be in, joy or above. We'd be all at 500 or above. We're not it's weird, but if you think about it, right, humans are not programmed to be in gratitude and joy.
We're programmed to survive.
To survive, to stay safe.
Exactly. To stay safe. And that's why we look for the bad.
Right.
When's that other shoe going to drop? Because that's the warning. So yeah, that's
Yes.
where we're programmed. Where's the saber-tooth tiger?
Yeah.
Fear sweat. That means
Right.
everybody move.
Where's my fun, right? So, so on that note, before we keep, we're going to talk about residue in relationships.
Residue.
That's what I'm trying to say. Residue.
Relationship residue.
Relationship residue. But before we do, we want to talk sales really quickly yet.
Yes.
So during this time, I mean, you've done well in your business. And what are your tips there? Like, what are the 2 sales strategies? It sounds like telesummits have been a great strategy for you. So 2 sales strategies that have worked really well that you want to share with our listeners.
Yep. So the telesummit appearances, it's with a very low introductory package with a lot of value, especially for people that are doing healing, and just trust that is a way of getting paid to build your business. Okay. It's like you're getting, right. It's advertising, and you're getting paid to advertise your business, which is really wonderful, because most telesummits, you actually, you split the revenues instead of paying to be on them. Right. There are some that you can pay to be on. And then, have those options ready for those that are going to go further, and either for like a group training or a session, that those, having them ready, that has been one of my tactics. And instead of feeling like I have to make the sale, it's like, how can I serve? It's coming into every conversation with, how can I serve? And if I'm hearing, oh my gosh, I need to, I'm not going to make my quota this month. I need some sales. I've got three conversations today, 3 sales conversations today. It's like, how can I serve these 3 people? And if they don't buy, somebody else may. Something else comes in, because now that the ball has been rolling for a while now, I have multiple streams, like unexpected streams of income. And the book, we'll talk about that. So there's different avenues that money is finding its way to me now, by being open to it. So on that, okay, so telesummits, and I would just say for people who are listening, if you haven't done a telesummit, Google them. They're out there. Google them for your specific industry. Like, Gwen does it in the world of healing. I do it in the world of sales and marketing. That's where we get pulled to represent what we teach. But there's tons of them out there. And also, reach out to your circle, because you might be surprised who knows someone who could refer you to be on a telesummit. I mean, they're probably already in your circle if it's something you're thinking about. The other thing is, I want to point this out. Is one of your strategies to have a sales stretch goal to allow the monies to kind of come in from anywhere? Because what you said was, you're doing the telesummit, like you're doing all the things that will bring business in, and yet you're pleasantly surprised when you allow it, because you allow it to come from anywhere. Can you just talk a little bit about that really quickly? Because I see that in motion with you now, and that's what I've heard you say, I think. Yes, it's in motion. So there are things that you can set in motion that down the road show up revenue, like having the passive revenue things, that there might be something that you relate to, a product you relate to, or like I mentioned, the clear releasing FUD, that creating packages that can be sold as an affiliate package. Like, people get to try them out, and if they like them, they share it with their friends, and they get a percentage of the sale. So, and then again, that's a way of building your business, because it introduces you to new people, and they come from they're a warm lead because they come from somebody that's already tried your stuff and they love it. And then also the book was, I was surprised at the revenue that generated, because books don't typically generate revenue. I mean, it wasn't a large amount, but it was like, when it came into my PayPal, I was like, wow, okay, this is good. Awesome. And it was also part of a telesummit. So it was a combination: book sales, telesummit, and selling it like an all access pass and things like that. And, for the most part, a book is going to be a big business card. And I'm only one author of many, of 18. So, I have one chapter in the book. And so I'm out there in the collective, which is cool. And you never know who's going to find you. Right. That you gave me a great tool of writing a statement that resonated with me, and I added in some pieces from some other training that I had, and I've just started using it again. And when I was consistent with it, when I got a roll on it, I made more than what I said I was going to make, which was a stretch goal. The 2 months I was completely committed to it, I made more than what I had written both months. And And then I went to Montana and I still made money. I had money coming in, people finding me from Germany and the book thing was in flow, and
all the things.
It's just amazing. It's like, wow, money just likes me. It comes to me now. Wow. Do the money work. Do the work.
Well, and I want to make sure everyone knows like a little bit. So we love it when our clients, we recommend writing some kind of a statement. So it could be it's kind of like a new belief written in present tense, or I'm in the process of, which is from my friend Michael Loger, and then tying it to your stretch goal and always saying, 20,000 or more per month, right? Whatever it is you're calling it, and writing it 20 times every morning. And then adding, as Gwen suggested, like the tweaks, the things that make you feel good. Do you want joy and peace? Like throw in, like you have to create your own recipe, and then just challenge yourself to write it every day for 30 days. A lot of our clients like you keep writing it because it actually works. And it just helps. I think it raises frequency, and it helps release blocks around where the money can come from, and that it can come from anywhere. And you can even say that. You could say that, I always preface that though, the anywhere thing, because someone once said to me, you don't want a car accident and the insurance to pay out. You don't want it from places like that. So be clear on, coming through the business and or affiliate partners and or as a special gift, like just whatever. I just want to put that disclaimer in. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're going to run out of time, Gwen. We're not going to, let's set some quantum time here. I want to make sure we have time to talk about you. So you're an expert in what we've been talking about, which is removing relationship residue and how that can truly benefit your bottom line. So I'm going to give the floor to you to share 2 to 3 strategies or tips or things that you share with your clients that you want our listeners to know.
Absolutely. So number 1 is good energy hygiene. And there are tools that I share that release the attachments that people have. And in fact, I'm going to just do it while I'm talking. And so anyone that's listening during this time is actually going to feel that, because it will release any attachments that you have attached to you. And then it restores your boundaries so that you have good, solid boundaries, 360 degrees, because we are energy bubbles. We are just bumping around as spheres. We're spheres. We're not physical bodies. We are literally spheres bumping around into each other's energy field. And whether we're actually touching, like now not being able to be around people, you can be connected to people all over the world. I am, you are, here as we're talking to people on the podcast, we're connecting with people. People are connecting with us. So we're going to just release all those attachments, restore the boundaries, and then realign your spirit into your body. So many of us are walking around with our spirit way up above, because we're in our head or we're in front of a computer all the time. Something's come out of left field. That means we're standing over to the right side of us. Somebody's yelled at us and pushed us out of our body. Somebody stabbed us in the backs, pushed us in the front. So our spirit is not in our body most of the time. So this will just bring your spirit back into your body and locking it in. And I love doing that, the realigning my spirit, because my eyes are like one of my weak spots, and I can always see clearer every time I do that. That way I know my spirit's in my body and I'm embodied. So having your spirit in your body is really, really powerful. So good energy hygiene. Take care of yourself first, always. I do a grounding heart meditation with every client in front of, at the beginning of all of my classes. I don't do them with my sales calls or my service calls, because there's not a lot of time, and they probably already heard it. So it brings energy into our heart so that we have a full heart that overflows. And I think it's Lisa Nichols that said, don't give from the cup, give from the saucer. So that's giving from the overflow. So you always have a full heart for yourself, and overflow goes to everyone else. So when you're serving others, it's from the overflow, because empaths give and give and give and give and give until they're total empty husks and shells, and they're still giving and they have nothing left. So you must be full first. Take care of yourself first, only give from the overflow. And that's not a narcissistic thing, because narcissists are hurting others to take care of themselves. You're taking care of yourself so that you can help and heal others. Does that make sense?
Yes. So beautiful. Whew, I got super heated when spirit came back in. I was like, whoo, I felt that. And I get I sometimes forget. So thanks for zipping us back up, because you're right. When we have so many things going on, we're thinking we just pop out, and you got to pull back in. In fact, here's a tip. And I know you already know this. Another spiritual friend of mine said that it's the fastest way to manifest is when you're actually in your body, not floating around. And
Yes.
spiritual types, we're like the spirit people, like we're floating around all the time, like we're out everybody, like, you know, you got to really be conscious of that. But when we're grounded and in your body, it is easier to manifest. So what Gwen just did with you is just priceless. What a gift. Thanks for doing that. That's going to help so many people all over.
No, I'm grounded
right now.
Yeah, I'm grounded woo.
Yes.
You're talking about all the different woos. I'm grounded woo.
I like it. So this is a perfect segue into, tell us how we can get more from you if we want to work with you. How do we get connected? What's the first step? And then I also want you to show us your book and make sure we know how to get it.
Yes, awesome. So Raise Your Vibration Spray. It was a spray that people wanted as a narcissist repellent, and that was coming from the negative, and I just couldn't get myself to do it.
Sorry, I just sound so loud. Okay,
narcissist repellent. You know, you don't spray it at them. That'll just piss them off.
Oh no. Okay. So now it's Raise Your Vibration Spray.
Right. I'll come up with a sexier name at some point, and I'll probably mark it as
we get it's clear what problem that solves for you and how it can help you. Okay, cool. What else? How do we get that?
How to get that? We have the link, which is gwenlepard.com. Gwen Lepard, which is spelled like the big cat, but without the O. And then it's RYVS, Raise Your Vibration Spray. And I'm sure that you'll have that available to people as well, that they'll be able to get the link. So gwenlepard.com, RYVS, Raise Your Vibration Spray. And it actually is a video. So you can actually put it on in the background and, you know, watch it, or, you know, it can raise the vibration of your environment, but it also raises the vibration of water. So you can put it in a spray bottle and, you know, with some oils you like or whatever, and just spray it.
Yeah.
And it's great for traveling.
Super easy to figure out. And thank you. But I love it. And all of that will be in the show notes, so people can click on that and you can find it there. Okay. Excellent. Tell us more.
Yes. So one quick more. You can vibrate the water in your body, because we're mostly water. And so you can raise your physical vibration by listening to it, watching it. And for those that have a half a woo, or woo is new, I speak an ancient healing soul language, and that is how this is delivered. It's not me speaking. It's beautiful music with an ancient healing soul language that literally raises your vibration and also is healing for your soul. So for those that have half a woo or just it's new, there we go. I love that. So the book is, let's see, I'm not seeing myself. So here we go. Okay. It's Evolutionary Healer. It was compiled by Ariadne Avalon, and it's Radical Wisdom from 18 Ascending Visionaries, and you can get it on Amazon. And I am, my chapter is Courageous Compassion, How Empaths Evolve Out of Narcissistic Abuse. And so look for Evolutionary Healer on Amazon, and that's how you'll get it. I have 3 tactics on how, three tactics that narcissists use to enslave empaths. And then I have 3 steps to becoming an empowered empath, and removing the shadow cloak of responsibility, regain rapport with yourself, and reconnect to your radiance. So some things to read about. My website, gwenlepard.com, which we talked about before, is full of testimonials. I think there's like 3 pages, and I still have more to put up. I will have an offering page to put up as well. So some of ways that you can work with me, or how to get on my calendar so that we can have a conversation about, you know, how can I serve? You know, are we a good fit?
Is that a complimentary conversation for someone who's out there?
If they come through you, yes.
Okay. Like just a quick 15-minute find out how to work with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have an anxiety. I do have an anxiety relief consult that I charge $47 for.
Oh.
And so there's that as well. And they can find that on the site as well.
Okay. Got it.
By searching me. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds wonderful. All right. Well, Gwen, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And any final words you want to share with our listeners?
Relationships are the foundation of everything, of your wealth, of your health, of your happiness, of how you interact with the world. And relationship residue is in your way. And if you've tried everything and you're wondering, you know, why does it keep coming back? It's because we're dealing with different layers, and You need energy hygiene. You need to take care of yourself. And you need to remove the relationship residue so that you can shine and really benefit that bottom line.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you again. And thank you for raising everyone's vibration, because I know that was your intention, even though you didn't tell me that before you came on here. I can feel it. And then you gave us that great process. So I'm sure some will go back and listen to that. And I know many of you are going to want to reach out to Gwen. So go to gwenlepard.com. You can also check the show notes for a lot of the links. She talked about the Raise Your Vibration spray. Check all of that out. And again, Gwen, thank you. This has been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
And to our listeners all over the world, we love you and we love hearing from you. You can email us at contact@salescoachnow.com. Also, leave us a review when you can. That way it can show other people what you like about the show and why they might want to listen as well. That's it for now. Make this your most epic month yet. Bye, everybody.